March 15, 1942, Rabaul, New Britain. Colonel Takeshi Yamamoto studied the medical intelligence report with visible contempt. His fingers drummed impatiently on the wooden desk. "Look at this," Yamamoto said, sliding the document toward his chief of staff. "The Americans think they can win jungle warfare with chemistry sets and canvas bags." Major Kenji Sato picked up the papers and laughed. "Their soldiers carry 30-pound packs filled with water purification equipment. Every company has these Lyster bags. Every soldier carries chemical tablets. They're engineers pretending to be warriors." Captain Hiroshi Tanaka, division medical officer, cleared his throat carefully. "Sir, our dysentery casualties at Lee are increasing. Perhaps we should examine their water treatment protocols more carefully." But Yamamoto waved him off. "We conquered China, Malaya, Singapore, and the Philippines. At Singapore, 36,000 men defeated 85,000 British. At Bataan, we pushed back 90,000 Americans and Filipinos. In the Java Sea, we sank 5 Allied cruisers without losing a ship. The mathematics were undeniable. Japanese forces had proven superior through endurance and warrior spirit. What Yamamoto didn't know, what none of them could have known as they dismissed engineering reports in that tropical headquarters, was that American water purification technology would incapacitate more Japanese soldiers than combat within 24 months. The numbers would become catastrophic. 127,000 Japanese disease casualties versus 23,000 American disease casualties. American portable systems would purify 2.8 million gallons daily by late 1944. Japanese capacity would remain below 45,000 gallons daily. The confidence in that Rabaul command post would become history's most expensive miscalculation, measured in preventable deaths. The 3 recurring witnesses. The mocker, Colonel Takeshi Yamamoto, 38th Division commander who dismissed water purification as weakness. The warner, Captain Hiroshi Tanaka, medical officer who documented disease statistics but was ignored. The witness, Lieutenant Yuki Nakamura, infantry platoon leader who experienced the consequences. Colonel Yamamoto's confidence rested on documented victories that seemed to validate Japanese methodology. At Singapore, outnumbered forces had defeated the British Empire's largest military base. Ratio: 36,000 Japanese versus 85,000 Commonwealth troops. Victory achieved in 7 days. At the Battle of Bataan, Japanese forces advanced against numerically superior American Filipino forces. At the Java Sea, Admiral Dorman's Allied fleet was destroyed. 4 cruisers and 3 destroyers sunk. Japanese losses, minimal. At Hong Kong, 10,000 Japanese defeated 14,000 Commonwealth defenders in 18 days. The pattern was consistent. Japanese forces achieving victory through mobility, light logistics, and warrior discipline. Equipment specifications supported this confidence. The Type 38 rifle weighed 4.19 kilograms, required minimal maintenance, and functioned in extreme humidity. The Type 92 heavy machine gun operated in conditions that jammed American weapons. Japanese soldiers carried 25-kilogram combat loads versus American 40-kilogram loads. This mobility translated to battlefield success. Japanese forces covered 25 kilometers daily through jungle. Allied forces averaged 15 kilometers. Recent American failures reinforced Yamamoto's certainty. At Kasserine Pass in February 1943, German forces inflicted 6,500 American casualties and captured 4,000 prisoners. The U.S. Army's first major engagement in Africa resulted in humiliating retreat. At Savo Island in August 1942, Japanese naval forces sank 4 Allied heavy cruisers in 32 minutes. American losses: 1,077 sailors killed. Japanese losses: 58 killed. At the Battle of Tassafaronga in November 1942, 8 Japanese destroyers defeated 5 American cruisers. 1 American cruiser sunk, 3 damaged. Japanese losses: 1 destroyer. Colonel Yamamoto personally commanded successful operations across 3 campaigns spanning 18 months. His 38th Division took Batangas in 11 days with 147 casualties while inflicting 3,400 enemy losses. At Lamon Bay, his regiment secured beachheads against prepared defenses. His forces maintained 76% combat readiness through the Malayan campaign despite tropical conditions. He believed in soldiers, not chemists. Captain Tanaka's warnings centered on medical data that contradicted command assumptions. "Sir, Our garrison at Lee reports 38% non-combat casualties. Disease accounts for 34%. American forces in comparable terrain report 11% disease casualties. They attribute this to systematic water purification. Every American company maintains Lyster bags providing purified water. Every soldier carries iodine tablets. Their medical protocols require water treatment at every position. Tanaka had compiled reports from captured American field manuals. The data showed organized, industrial-scale water purification. But command viewed this as evidence of weakness, armies that needed complex logistics to survive jungle conditions. Lieutenant Nakamura's platoon experience confirmed what commanders wanted to believe. His unit had operated in Malayan jungles for 7 months, drinking from streams, rivers, and wells as Japanese soldiers always had. They were warriors descended from samurai. Some men suffered dysentery, but they recovered. Some contracted malaria, but they continued fighting. His platoon maintained combat effectiveness through discipline and endurance. They didn't need American engineering solutions. The mathematics seemed irrefutable. Detroit, Michigan, August 1941. Robert S. Kerr watched the assembly line at Ford's River Rouge complex produce Lyster bags with mechanical precision. This single facility produced 847 water purification units daily. Every 102 seconds, another complete 36-gallon canvas bag with integrated calcium hypochlorite dispenser rolled off the production line. In January 1941, America produced just 320 portable water purification units monthly across all manufacturers combined. By June 1941, production reached 4,100 units monthly from expanded facilities. By September 1941, the River Rouge plant alone was producing 25,410 Lyster bags monthly. By December 1941, daily production exceeded 900 units. This single facility was producing more water purification equipment monthly than the entire Japanese Empire produced annually. Margaret Chen, previously employed at Hudson's department store as a seamstress earning $14 weekly, now operated industrial sewing machines at Ford, producing 186 Lyster bags per 8-hour shift at $32 weekly. She stitched 36-gallon canvas containers that would purify 6,696 gallons of water daily when deployed, more reliably purified water than an entire Japanese infantry regiment of 3,800 men could access. Her workstation received pre-cut canvas every 90 seconds. She completed triple-stitched seams, reinforced grommets for the suspension system, and attached the calcium hypochlorite tablet dispensing pocket. Her quality control was absolute. Every seam tested to 40 pounds tension, every grommet capable of supporting 50 pounds. She personally produced more water purification equipment in one 8-hour shift than Japan manufactured for its entire Southern Expeditionary Army in 1 month. Her single workstation's output exceeded Japanese national production by a ratio of approximately 6:1 monthly. James Washington, from Birmingham, Alabama, previously employed in steel mills at $28 weekly, operated the calcium hypochlorite tablet press producing 52,000 tablets per 8-hour shift at $38 weekly. His station received precisely measured chemicals every 45 seconds. Each tablet compressed to exactly 7.5 grams. Each tablet contained exactly 70% available chlorine. Each tablet could purify 36 gallons of water in 30 minutes. His daily output: 52,000 tablets capable of purifying 1,872,000 gallons, enough purified water for 9 full-strength infantry divisions at standard 4-gallon per soldier daily allocation. His single workstation produced more water purification chemicals daily than the entire Japanese military produced for the Pacific Theater monthly. The precision was mechanical and unforgiving. Tablets measuring 7.48 grams were rejected. Tablets testing at 69.8% chlorine were discarded. Only perfect production reached soldiers. Harold Matheson, $1-a-year man from Dow Chemical Company, managed the military chlorination program while maintaining his $87,000 annual civilian salary. His industrial chemistry expertise transformed water purification from experimental medical procedure to standardized field operation. Under his direction, American chemical plants produced tablets with consistent potency, 18-month shelf life in tropical conditions, and foolproof deployment requiring no chemical training. He standardized the formula: calcium hypochlorite tablets with stabilizers that remained effective at 130-degree storage temperatures. He designed packaging that survived Pacific humidity. He created training protocols that allowed any soldier to purify water safely. His management connected university research, industrial chemistry, and military logistics into a system that produced 127 million water purification tablets in 1943 alone. Americans discarded 340 defective Lyster bags daily at River Rouge during quality control testing. Japan allocated 8 new water purification units monthly to the entire 17th Army garrison in the Solomon Islands. The waste from single-day quality control exceeded Japanese monthly distribution by 42:1. The waste from American water purification production exceeded enemy capacity by factors that seemed impossible. Workers threw away calcium hypochlorite tablets that measured 7.4 grams instead of 7.5 grams, a variance of 1.3% that Japanese medical officers would have accepted gratefully. Americans required exactitude. Japanese forces divided single purification tablets into quarters to stretch limited supplies. Americans discarded millions of tablets annually for minor specification failures. The cafeteria at River Rouge discarded more purified water daily than Japanese field hospitals received monthly. Cafeteria operations used 4,200 gallons daily for cleaning, cooking, and drinking, all purified through industrial chlorination systems. Japanese medical facilities at Rabaul had access to approximately 3,000 gallons of reliably purified water monthly for all medical purposes, including surgery, wound care, and drinking water for patients. American cafeteria waste exceeded Japanese military medical water supply by 42:1. Aluminum components for Lyster bag fittings produced 280 pounds of scrap metal daily at River Rouge from normal manufacturing processes. Rejected grommets, drilled mounting hardware, bent support frames. Japanese monthly allocation of aluminum for all medical equipment, including water purification for the 17th Army, 160 pounds. This single waste stream from one American factory exceeded Japanese material allocation by 52.5:1 monthly. Discarded water purification equipment in durability testing exceeded combat deployment. American military specifications required Lyster bags to survive 200 filling cycles, function in temperatures from -20 degrees F to 130 degrees F, and withstand suspension loads of 50 pounds when full. Testing protocols destroyed 760 Lyster bags monthly at River Rouge, alone verifying these specifications. Japanese forces in the Solomon Islands possessed fewer than 180 water purification units of all types combined. American quality control testing destroyed more equipment monthly than Japan deployed to active combat theaters. This single aspect exceeded entire enemy capacity by 4:1. What Yamamoto didn't know was that Captain Tanaka had received intelligence reports about American production through neutral diplomatic channels. Tanaka drafted detailed memos warning that American water purification production represented strategic-level advantage. A single American factory produced more equipment monthly than Japanese national production produced annually. But his warnings disappeared into staff channels where officers focused on combat operations, not logistics engineering. May 8, 1943, Guadalcanal, 6:20 hours. Lieutenant Nakamura was conducting routine morning inspection when Private First Class Sato collapsed during formation. Severe abdominal cramping, explosive diarrhea, fever measuring 39.2 degrees Celsius. Elapsed time from symptom onset to complete combat incapacitation, approximately 2 hours based on Sato's account of feeling unwell at 4:30 hours. At 7:15 hours, Corporal Yoshida showed identical symptoms. At 8:40 hours, Private Tanaka incapacitated. At 9:20 hours, Superior Private Suzuki unable to stand. At 10:45 hours, 6 more soldiers showing acute dysentery symptoms. Disease incubation time from contaminated water consumption, 18:36 hours for bacterial dysentery. Time from first symptoms to combat ineffectiveness, 46 hours for acute cases. At 6:20 hours, Private Sato incapacitated. Estimated recovery time, 14 days minimum assuming medical treatment and clean water. Actual recovery time in field conditions, 28 days. Kill time to combat effectiveness, 672 hours. At 7:15 hours, Corporal Yoshida incapacitated. Recovery time, 21 days. Kill time, 504 hours. By 1200 hours, 13 soldiers combat ineffective from acute waterborne disease. Total platoon strength, 42 soldiers. Combat effectiveness, 69%. Cause, drinking from stream contaminated with human waste from positions 400 meters upstream. American forces operating in same sector, 0 waterborne disease casualties that week. Disease casualty ratio, 13, 0 from single contaminated water source. The medical supplies expended treating this outbreak: rehydration salts, antidiarrheal medicines, antibiotics when available, exceeded the entire battalion's monthly medical allocation for disease treatment. The man-hours lost: 13 soldiers times 21 days average recovery equals 273 man-days lost to single preventable disease outbreak. Colonel Yamamoto reviewed medical reports with irritation but not alarm. Disease was temporary. Soldiers recovered. It wasn't like battlefield deaths. His focus remained on offensive operations, tactical positions, and ammunition supplies. Water purification seemed irrelevant compared to combat power. Intelligence reports from captured American documents described elaborate water purification protocols, but staff officers dismissed them as exaggerations designed for propaganda purposes. The Americans claim 94% combat readiness in jungle warfare, one intelligence summary stated. These numbers are clearly fabricated. No force can maintain such effectiveness in tropical conditions. This is psychological warfare, not factual reporting. Yamamoto reviewed Captain Tanaka's detailed medical analysis, comparing disease casualty rates between Japanese and American forces. The numbers showed 34% Japanese non-combat casualties versus 9% American non-combat casualties in comparable jungle operations. Yamamoto stated this was impossible. American forces are operating from established bases with supply lines. Our forces are in offensive operations under combat stress. The comparison is meaningless. These statistics prove nothing, except that Americans remain in defensive positions while we advance. Captain Tanaka reported to divisional headquarters in late May 1943 with comprehensive data. American water purification protocols require every company to maintain Lyster bags providing 36 gallons of purified water per filling cycle. Each bag serves approximately 100 soldiers. Purification time: 30 minutes using calcium hypochlorite tablets. Every soldier carries personal iodine tablets capable of purifying 1 quart in 30 minutes. American forces establish water purification at every bivouac. They never drink unpurified water under any circumstances. This is not battlefield medicine. This is industrial systems thinking applied to disease prevention. Tanaka included production data. American Lyster bag production exceeded 50,000 units monthly. American chemical tablet production exceeded 10 million monthly. Japanese comparable production: fewer than 50 units monthly for equipment, fewer than 80,000 tablets monthly for chemicals. American production statistics were documented through multiple intelligence sources. By mid-1943, U.S. factories produced 54,000 Lyster bags monthly from 3 primary facilities. Japanese production: approximately 45 water purification units monthly of all types combined. Ratio: 1:200:1. A single American facility, Ford River Rouge, produced 25,410 Lyster bags monthly. The entire Japanese Empire's military medical production system produced 45 comparable units monthly. Single facility comparison: 564:1. American chemical plants produced 127 million water purification tablets in 1943. Japanese military chemical production for water purification: approximately 960,000 tablets in 1943. Ratio: 132:1. Single American facility comparison: Dow Chemical's Midland plant produced 4.2 million tablets monthly. Entire Japanese production: 80,000 monthly. Ratio: 52:5:1. They tried issuing orders requiring water boiling before consumption. The Americans had chemical tablets providing purification in 30 minutes without fires, fuel, or delays. They attempted to establish designated water points with supervision. American battalions purified water at every position using portable equipment. They ordered medical officers to emphasize hygiene discipline. Americans had industrial systems that didn't rely on individual discipline. They distributed sake rations believing its alcohol content provided mild antibacterial properties. Americans had 70% chlorine tablets that killed 99.99% of waterborne pathogens in 30 minutes regardless of soldier behavior. June 17, 1943, New Georgia Island, 8:30 hours. Lieutenant Nakamura observed American positions through field glasses. At 8:30 hours, U.S. Marines began establishing perimeter after overnight movement. By 8:45 hours, they had erected 3 Lyster bags on wooden frames. By 9:10 hours, Marines were filling canteens with purified water. Total time from position establishment to safe drinking water, 40 minutes. Nakamura's platoon had been drinking from a stream for 4 days. At 16:20 hours on June 17, first acute symptoms appeared. Private Ito, severe cramping and diarrhea. At 17:40 hours, Corporal Saito incapacitated. By June 18 at 600 hours, 9 soldiers showing symptoms. By June 19 at 1200 hours, 17 of 41 soldiers combat ineffective. Disease casualty rate that week, 41% of platoon strength. American disease casualties in same operational sector, 2 soldiers, 1.8% of company strength. Disease force multiplier. American forces maintained 22.8 times higher combat effectiveness through water purification alone. The mathematics became undeniable. Japanese forces losing 35–40% strength to preventable disease, while American forces maintained 95% plus effectiveness. In tactical terms, this meant American companies operated at full strength, while Japanese companies functioned at 60–65% strength before combat began. The force ratio shifted 1:5:1 in American favor before bullets flew. American production had become unstoppable. At Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company's Akron facility, specialized canvas production for Lyster bags achieved 48,000 square yards daily. Every 14 minutes, enough canvas for 20 Lyster bags was produced, cut, and shipped to assembly facilities. This single facility produced more water purification equipment capacity than the entire Japanese Empire's textile production allocated to military medical purposes. Americans discarded 1,180 Lyster bags weekly for cosmetic defects that didn't affect functionality. Discolored canvas, slightly irregular stitching, faded stenciling. Japanese forces allocated 6 new water purification units monthly to the entire garrison at Bougainville. American quality control waste from rejecting cosmetically imperfect but functionally sound equipment exceeded active Japanese deployment by 197:1. This single facility's discarded equipment exceeded entire enemy allocation. Workers threw away calcium hypochlorite tablets that fell to 69.7% available chlorine, 0.3% below specification. Japanese medical officers carefully split single purification tablets into quarters, using each piece to treat 9 gallons instead of the specified 36 gallons, desperately stretching inadequate supplies. Americans required exact 70% chlorine concentration and destroyed anything below specification. Japanese used whatever they could obtain, captured American tablets, improvised boiling, sake dilution, desperate prayers, while Americans maintained industrial standards that guaranteed effectiveness. Cafeteria operations at military production facilities exceeded entire enemy water capacity. The Willow Run bomber plant cafeteria used 5,400 gallons of purified water daily for cooking, cleaning, and drinking, serving 42,000 workers across 3 shifts. Japanese forces at Bougainville, approximately 18,000 troops, had access to fewer than 2,200 gallons of reliably purified water daily for all purposes, including medical care. American factory cafeteria usage exceeded Japanese military allocation by 2:45:1. This single facility's waste exceeded entire enemy capacity. Aluminum manufacturing scrap for water purification components produced 340 pounds daily at American facilities from normal production processes. Rejected grommets, mise-stamped frames, incorrectly drilled mounting brackets. Japanese monthly allocation of aluminum for medical equipment, including water purification across the entire 17th Army, 160 pounds. American waste streams from single facilities exceeded Japanese material allocation by 212% monthly. The discarded materials from one factory's quality control could have built Japanese entire water purification infrastructure twice over. Discarded equipment in durability testing exceeded combat deployment ratios by devastating margins. American military specifications required Lyster bags to survive 200 complete filling and emptying cycles without seam failure or material degradation. Testing protocols at River Rouge destroyed 840 Lyster bags monthly, verifying these specifications, filling them repeatedly until failure, exposing them to temperature extremes, subjecting them to mechanical stress testing. Japanese forces in the entire Solomon Islands theater possessed fewer than 200 water purification units of all types combined in June 1943. American testing destroyed more equipment monthly than Japan deployed across an entire theater of operations. Every aspect of American production, even the waste, exceeded total Japanese capacity. Captain Tanaka compiled these statistics into reports that grew increasingly urgent and increasingly ignored. American production advantage wasn't marginal, it was 50, 100, sometimes exceeding 500, in single facility comparisons. But headquarters remained focused on tactical operations, viewing logistics as secondary to warrior spirit. Tanaka's warnings about unsustainable disease casualty rates disappeared into bureaucracy. August 23, 1943, Kolombangara Island. The 13th Infantry Regiment, 6th Division, prepared for defensive operations. Regimental strength, 2,340 soldiers on paper. Combat effective strength, 1,520 soldiers. Disease casualties, 820 soldiers, 35% of nominal strength before combat operations began. At 600 hours, the regiment occupied defensive positions. At 8:30 hours, American forces began preliminary operations. The engagement lasted 6 hours, 40 minutes of active combat. Japanese forces entering battle, 1,520 combat effective soldiers, 65% of nominal strength. American forces, 2,100 Marines, 98% of nominal strength. Numerical ratio, 1:38, 1 in American favor before accounting for disease-induced degradation of Japanese combat effectiveness. At 8:30 hours, American artillery preparation began. At 9:15 hours, infantry assault commenced. By 10:45 hours, Japanese forward positions overrun. By 12:30 hours, regimental headquarters displaced. By 15:10 hours, organized resistance collapsed. Japanese casualties from combat, 340 killed, 580 wounded. Disease-added acute cases during combat operations. 120 soldiers incapacitated from dehydration, dysentery, and malaria during the 6-hour engagement. Total Japanese casualties, 1,040 soldiers, 68% of engaged force. American casualties, 67 killed, 240 wounded, 14.6% of engaged force. The effective casualty exchange ratio. Japanese lost 68% of their engaged force. Americans lost 14.6% of their engaged force. Force effectiveness ratio, 4:65, 1 in American favor. The water consumed by American forces in this engagement, gallons purified through Lyster bags and distributed in canteens, exceeded the reliably purified water available to the entire Japanese regiment for the previous week. American forces drank, cooked with, and even washed with purified water. Japanese forces rationed contaminated water and hoped for survival. The medical supplies expended treating Japanese disease casualties during and after this engagement exceeded the division's monthly allocation for combat wounds. Japanese medical officers treating battlefield injuries simultaneously managed dysentery wards, malaria cases, and dehydration emergencies. American medical personnel focused on combat casualties because disease casualties were nearly non-existent. At 15:20 hours, Colonel Yamamoto arrived at Regimental Aid Station, finally witnessing the scope of disease devastation. He walked through rows of soldiers incapacitated not by bullets but by bacteria. Time from dismissive confidence to recognition. 18 months too late. The mathematics he had mocked, American engineering superiority through water purification, had destroyed his division more effectively than American firepower. But even witnessing this, Yamamoto attributed losses to temporary circumstances rather than systematic American advantage. Lieutenant Nakamura documented the battle's reality in his personal journal. We entered battle with 1,520 effective soldiers against American forces numbering 2,100. But this understates reality. Our 1,520 effective soldiers included hundreds weakened by recurring dysentery, chronic malaria, and malnutrition from contaminated water. American forces were genuinely healthy. Our soldiers had 65% nominal strength. Their soldiers had 100% strength. This wasn't combat between armies. This was systematic destruction of a force already crippled by preventable disease. The Americans walked past the same rivers we drank from, but their engineers gave them portable protection we couldn't match. November 1945, Tokyo, Allied War Crimes Investigation Headquarters. Captain Hiroshi Tanaka sat before American medical intelligence officers. His meticulously maintained documentation spread across the table. His survival resulted from being rotated to Japan in late 1944 for medical duties, rotation that command framed as punishment for defeatist medical reporting, but that saved his life. We were not defeated by better soldiers, Tanaka testified. We were defeated by better engineering applied to fundamental problems of human survival. Your water purification capacity in the Pacific Theater exceeded 2.8 million gallons daily by late 1944. Our entire military in the Pacific could reliably purify perhaps 45,000 gallons daily. The ratio was 62:1. You produced 54,000 Lyster bags monthly at peak production. We produced fewer than 50 comparable units monthly. The ratio was 1:080:1. This wasn't military combat. This was industrial civilization versus agricultural economy. A single American factory produced more water purification equipment than our entire empire. You understood that disease kills more soldiers than bullets. We understood this theoretically, but couldn't implement it practically because we lacked industrial capacity. Every American soldier had access to purified water always. Most Japanese soldiers had access to purified water never. Lieutenant Yuki Nakamura, emaciated from recurring amoebic dysentery that would eventually kill him in 1947, provided ground-level testimony. I watched your Marines establish new positions and have purified water in 40 minutes. We drank from rivers and streams knowing the water was contaminated, but having no alternative. Within 3 days of drinking from any natural water source, half my platoon was incapacitated. You didn't just outproduce us in weapons and ammunition. You revolutionized the basic requirements for human survival in combat. Every American soldier carried iodine tablets in his pack. We had zero chemical purification capacity at individual level. Your battalions moved with Lyster bags and had purified water at every bivouac. We had orders to boil water, which required stopping operations, gathering fuel, lighting fires that revealed our positions to artillery and waiting. You turned water purification into assembly line efficiency. We treated it as individual responsibility that failed under combat conditions. Additional testimonies revealed systematic failure. Major Hideki Yamada, Division Logistics Officer, stated, "We brought 19th century sanitation methodology to 20th century warfare. Your engineers understood that soldier health is strategic advantage. Their excess water purification capacity exceeded our maximum possible effort under ideal conditions. You could lose 1,000 Lyster bags and replace them in 2 days. We couldn't replace our losses in a year. Your production was 1:080:1 at peak. This wasn't military defeat, this was technological inevitability." Colonel Masao Yoshida, Medical Corps, testified. The mathematics were absolutely crushing. American soldiers each had access to 46 gallons of purified water daily as standard allocation. Our soldiers often had access to less than 1 gallon of reliably safe water daily. Your water purification tablet production, 127 million tablets in 1943 alone, could theoretically treat 45.7 billion gallons. Our production in 1943 might have treated 350 million gallons. The ratio was 130:1. A single American chemical plant produced more purification capacity than our entire empire. We tried capturing your equipment. You replaced it faster than we could capture it. We tried copying your Lyster bags. Our textile production couldn't match specifications. We tried manufacturing purification chemicals. Our chemical industry lacked capacity for both military explosives and water purification chemicals simultaneously. Every attempted solution revealed deeper industrial inadequacy. A surviving regimental commander testified, "Their excess capacity exceeded our maximum effort. American forces could lose equipment to accidents, combat, or wear and replace everything within days. We couldn't replace anything. They operated with 95% plus combat effectiveness. We operated at 60-65% effectiveness before combat started." The force multiplication from water purification alone gave Americans 1 advantage before tactical factors. Add superior firepower, air superiority, and logistics, and the ratio became 5-1 or 8-1. We were defeated before battles began by soldiers too sick to fight effectively. Production statistics, stated by multiple testimonies, confirmed disparities. American Lyster bag production 1943, 648,000 units total. Japanese production 1943, approximately 540 units total. Ratio 1:200:1. Single American factory, River Rouge, monthly output 1943, 25,410 Lyster bags. Entire Japanese industry monthly output, 45 units. Single facility ratio, 564:1. American chlorination tablet production 1943, 127 million tablets. Japanese production 1943, 960,000 tablets. Ratio, 132:1. Single American factory, Dow Midland monthly production, 4,200,000 tablets. Entire Japanese industry monthly production, 80,000 tablets. Single facility ratio, 52:1. American portable filtration systems deployed, 18,400 units. Japanese comparable systems, fewer than 120 units. Ratio, 153:1. American military personnel trained in water purification. Approximately 4.2 million soldiers received training. Japanese personnel trained, approximately 12,000 medical personnel. Training ratio, 350:1. The testimonies documented force destroyed not primarily through combat, but through preventable disease. Japanese forces in the Pacific suffered 127,000 disease casualties from various illnesses, with waterborne diseases, dysentery, cholera, typhoid, accounting for approximately 68,000 casualties, 54% of disease casualties. American forces in the Pacific suffered approximately 23,000 disease casualties from all causes combined, with waterborne diseases representing fewer than 4,200 cases, 18% of disease casualties. The waterborne disease casualty ratio, 16:1 in American favor from water purification technology alone. When disease casualties are factored into force effectiveness calculations, the impact becomes devastating. Japanese units entering combat typically operated at 60-70% nominal strength due to disease. American units typically operated at 95-98% nominal strength. This 30-35% effectiveness gap from disease alone created 4-1-6-1 American advantage before tactical engagement. Combined with other factors, air superiority, artillery advantage, logistics superiority, the cumulative effect produced casualty ratios exceeding 5:1 in American favor across the Pacific theater. The portable water purification systems proved that democratic industrial capacity applied to soldier welfare created strategic military advantage. Free workers at River Rouge producing Lyster bags at $32 weekly outproduced any military production system relying on coercion. Engineers solving practical problems through systematic research, understanding bacteriology, chlorine chemistry, materials science, and field logistics, exceeded ideological confidence and warrior spirit. Industrial abundance applied to basic human needs buried military tradition under the weight of preventable casualties. March 15, 1942. Colonel Takeshi Yamamoto had dismissed American water purification engineering as evidence of weakness, soldiers too dependent on technology, armies too soft for jungle hardship. November 1945. Yamamoto died not in glorious combat, but in a Bougainville field hospital from complications of amoebic dysentery, a disease that American calcium hypochlorite tablets costing 0.0008 per tablet would have prevented. His mockery became history's most preventable miscalculation. Japanese forces lost 68,000 soldiers to waterborne diseases alone, diseases that American engineering had rendered nearly obsolete through portable purification systems, costing approximately $4.50 per Lyster bag to manufacture. The lesson remains: dismissing democratic nations' investment in soldier welfare as weakness, or underestimating free societies' capacity to apply engineering solutions to fundamental problems, invites catastrophic miscalculation. The Americans understood that modern warfare is won not only through tactical brilliance, but through solving basic challenges of human survival. An army that can provide clean water anywhere, anytime, maintains combat effectiveness that no amount of warrior spirit can match when opposing soldiers are incapacitated by preventable disease. Industrial capacity applied to keeping soldiers healthy, clean water, disease prevention, systematic logistics, created military advantage more decisive than tactical innovations. The portable water purification systems didn't just beat jungle disease. They revealed that 20th century warfare rewards societies that can mobilize industrial capacity to solve fundamental problems of human survival at scale. Warriors are irrelevant when they're too sick to fight.